No glasses and nappy hair today. Somebody in the comments said that. Somebody said you will never have a forehead like mine, and they're probably right. No one could ever have a forehead like mine. Freaking, oh, it's ugly, but who cares? Yeah. I don't really care about my forehead. I like having hair. I'm going bald. If you haven't noticed, look, I can show you where it's all getting worse. But yeah, I wanted to make this because there's a lot of division that I see happening like online, and it's not really division. Maybe it's just divisive conversation, and we're all like taking part of it. So I guess we're not really divided. I don't know. It's weird, but the thing that I'm really noticing a lot in today's world is a lot of in-group fighting, right? So you got young boys and young girls who hate each other and who are like throwing all of this dumb sexist rhetoric back and forth, and then you have, in addition to that, you have people inside of the opposite sex world. Like you got girls hating each other, young girls hating on each other, you got young boys hating on each other. You got people sabotaging each other's like reputations and lives over petty things. You're seeing all of this. I'm seeing all of this happen, and I remember when it was happening back in 2016 when I was in community college, and I just thought to myself, like, this is this is this is weird. Like, why do people do that to each other? So yeah, I go on Twitch a little more now. I think this is Twitch day 7 for me. So it's been a whole week since I've been using Twitch every day. Just kind of popping into chats to see what people are talking about, or popping in to crack jokes or say things to people. And there's a lot of division, especially among everyday people, on things like gender and identity and sexuality. And it's like those are the big three: gender, identity, and sexuality. That's like the most divisive topics. Like, why aren't we talking about our favorite cheeseburgers? Like, what do you like your cheeseburger? What kind of meat? What kind of seasoning? If you don't like meat and you're vegetarian, like, what do you want your meat substitute to be made with? Why aren't we having conversations like that? And places where there are conversations like that taking place, everybody's chilling. We're all having a good time, laughing and joking, until some creep from online jumps into the chat, or some creep jumps in and says something inappropriate or out of pocket in the comments. I see it. I see it happening a lot. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if y'all didn't have the internet and you just said stuff like this out in public, you would get slapped. Like, you would get literally slapped, or people will like, people are just saying things that they don't have the courage to say in person, and they're not out there in the world like a lot of other people are, who, a lot of people who have the most to say generally aren't doing enough, or they aren't doing anything. And take it from me, because I have the most to say and I haven't done enough. I haven't done shit in my life. I've tried. I've gotten beat up getting out there into the world and trying to help people. I've gotten my ass kicked in some ways, and I've acquired quite a group of stalkers and haters, abusers and accusers out there. We all go through that when we're living, you know. But a lot of people stay online, or they stay indoors, or they stay behind the screen, and they just say whatever they're saying. And I decided to stop being out in the world because I realized how much the online culture and atmosphere is influencing just our ability to connect with each other. And now I'm online so I could directly confront that, because there's a lot of conversations today that really we need to be having, and not the kind of conversations that are about judging people or optics, like virtue signaling, or saying things that are reasonable just to get people to agree with you in the chat. Like, more than half of the people that I see in streamers' chats, like Asmongold or Amiru's chats, or even Alinity's chats, or Renegadis's chat, or Avazura. I also joined a new streamer, forgot what her name was, little BB Trash Can or something like that. Baby K's chats. Like, you see a lot of young people who are misguided, or they just don't know what they're saying and they don't care. And it's just disrespectful. is disrespectful to all the people who have lived before us and have made the world a better place through their own actions and their own, life. So it's kind of it's an injustice to me to just sit around and not be online because the online culture is just that developmentally delayed. You know what I'm saying? Like the online culture is severely developmentally delayed and mentally delayed. And I'm not saying this to be an elitist prick. I'm just saying this as a fact. Like there are a lot of people who use the internet today who are developmentally delayed. A lot of young people who are, turning 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, who they have all of this knowledge and information at their fingertips and they have all of this wisdom, but they're still developmentally delayed. So that means like physiologically and physically, their bodies and brains cannot handle the information that they're trying to take in or even say anything meaningful about. And this is facts. This is facts, but nobody wants to have this conversation because you're going to get doxxed. Your information's going to be out there. And then all of a sudden you're going to be retaliated against by people from all directions who have nothing to do with the online culture. Why? Because you're stirring the pot in a way that is trying to build things up and through forward. We need to find a way forward as a society. So that's why I'm on the internet, trying to joke around with people, but also be serious. And I wish I could be more serious than I am, but if I was, I think it would scare a lot of people. It would even scare me. That's why I don't like being serious, is because the brain power is just too much for me. I would rather be a clown and joke around because not everything is that serious. And the people who are demanding you to take certain things seriously, you need to ask them, well, how do I? How do I? Because you must be great at taking it seriously. So give me some guidance, right? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of young people who are developmentally delayed and psychosocially delayed adults online, especially on Twitch, especially on YouTube. There are a lot of adults and young people who just spend way too much time playing video games and online. Like you don't go out and get beat up enough by life. And you start complaining the moment that things are hard for you. And what I'm trying to do when I go online is kind of remind people that they need to get away from the screens. And I hope I'm saying things that make people want to turn their computers off. I hope I'm saying things that make people want to yeah, maybe I should get offline. Like, listen to this guy. This guy, I'm not saying anything reasonable. Half the time I'm saying things that are just just as bad as anything anyone else is saying. And I'm reading it in the comments what other people are saying. And I'm reading the things that people are saying. And I'm deciding with my own intellect, with my own free will and volition to, maybe I should just stay offline. Maybe I should just uninstall Twitch. Maybe I should just go outside and go on a walk, talk to my neighbors, do some yard work. Maybe I should cook some cheeseburgers. Maybe I should just have a block party in my neighborhood and whoever drives by, just offer them a cheeseburger, even if they don't want one, And I guess that's the whole thing is it's very easy to pick at each other and nitpick each other over dumb things like speech and ideas and words. But when you have a cheeseburger in your hand and you're chilling, you have your friends and your family around you, and what else? Why are you going to bitch? Why are you going to complain about life when you have more than everything you need? 90% of the kids that are really unhappy, according to data, it's because of all of this privilege and all of this great things that we have. Most of the kids that are out in the wild, out in the world in developing countries, they're a lot happier with a lot less than these kids are today. And it's something that you have to really take in, but you cannot judge the kids for it, right? It's not like I'm sitting here. Well, maybe I sound like I'm judging kids right now and judging young people, judging older people for their privileges. But what I'm trying to point out here, I'm not trying to judge. And if I'm judging, then I apologize. However, I'm judging because this needs to be pointed out and this needs to be acknowledged if we're going to have a different sense of gratitude in life. And that's the only way to get through uncertain, hard times, is to look around you and see what's working out. Because this isn't the first time in history where the whole world is upside down, and it's not going to be the last. So if you're a young person, if you're on an older person going through some kind of existential crisis, or maybe you're going through like a midlife, quarter life crisis, you know, whatever you're going through, like, don't listen to the online world. Don't listen to everything everybody's saying, because not everything is about you. And if you want things to be about you more, then go out and live. Go out and live. Don't do it online, because, yeah, people online are trying to tear each other down. And you go out into the world, there are people who are trying to tear each other down in the world, but it's just a lot harder for them in real life than it is for them online. Take that from me as facts. It's real facts. Go out there and live your life. Enjoy yourself. Play some sports, you know. Hang out with friends. Learn a martial art so that when people pull up tripping out on you, you at least know how to get yourself out of there, or like take care of whoever's around you in that situation. Start training, you know, take care of your body, take care of your mind, your spirit. Read your Holy Bible if you are religious. If you're not religious, then I'm not talking to you when I say read your Holy Bible. But everything else I am talking to you about, okay? So don't sit here and get all sour over your own understanding that you lack. All right, cool. Sometimes you got to say something that is not very kind, but it is still true, because the truth itself, everybody's going to try to tell you what they think the truth is, but sometimes you just got to be like, back up, back off. That's for you. I got my own stuff to worry about. Cool. Be good. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Drink lots of water. Eat lots of food. Get lots of rest. Bye.